Hello everyone, welcome back. Today's reading, I decided to do a twin flame reading. This is going to be the connection that exists between you and your twin flame. Now, I don't know if you are a feminine watching this or a masculine watching this, but regardless, I felt very spiritually guided to this particular deck for my divine feminines and this deck for my divine masculine. We're going to be looking at each current energies right now, right? Current energies affected by this connection, this twin flame connection that you feel towards a particular person. What are their current energies towards you and your current energies towards them? And now I want to also look at practicality, right? Because twin flame connections are very spiritual. They are the catalyst of many changes in your life. They bring about massive transformation, generally speaking. It's like you're not even the same person after meeting this person. So practicality is going to still weigh in. But I did choose another deck for the soul connection. So we're going to be looking at the soul connection, practicality, what's going on in the environment, what is the reason for their current feelings. I'm going to use this deck to clarify their current feelings and your current feelings towards them. And I have here heart messages, okay? So this is going to be a message from their higher self. What do you need to know at this time? Now, the reason why I started doing this reading, or why I felt like doing this reading today, was because I woke up with a very odd and strange dream. And it felt very like out-of-body experience for me. It wasn't like I was astral traveling or anything, but it was almost as if I had a glance. It was almost like a prophetic dream. And it has something to do with twin flames. So this could be your energy that I'm picking up, and know that I have no control over it. This is just what our spirit guides want us to know right now at this time concerning your twin flame. I'm going to go ahead and start with the divine feminine's energy. Now, you could also be a male that resonates more with the divine feminine. But let's see how you currently feel towards this person, your person, right now. This is the divine masculine's energy, their current energies towards this connection at this time. A lot of cards came out for your divine masculine, and I'm being asked to keep it, but I'm asked to draw one more for you guys. There it is. Okay. This is very interesting. This is definitely a twin flame reading. Now, I took this card out because this talks about a message. Okay, Page of Pentacles. And I'll go ahead and explain why I found that to be very significant, even though I felt guided to take 5 cards. Something is telling me it all has to do with this message right here, why all these 5 cards came out. Okay, so look at that. So let's take a look at why these cards are going to help support their current feelings or your current feelings. It'll give us a better picture of what's going on. Okay. And we have the Hanged Man. So your current energies right now towards your person. We have the 6 of Swords, the 9 of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, the Unknown, the Ace of Swords, and like I said, it has something to do with this message. So how you feel in your current energy right now is you want the truth. You are not exploring your emotions too much. You're not in your emotions right now, but you're looking at it logically. You're trying to see what you missed, perhaps, from this connection that you didn't see before. You're okay moving on, you're okay working on this connection, but you want to know the truth. You don't want to waste any time. You want to cut through the BS and cut through the clouds of confusion. Before showing any more effort, time, and or energy on this connection, you want to know and get to the bottom of things with your twin flame. You want to communicate something on a very logical sense, on a logical, in a logical state. Now, you are still very confused by this, okay? You just want to see where they stand in this connection with you. Then you'll take that information and figure out where and what to do from there. Because I do see how you feel towards this connection is very confused right now with the Hangman. Something's got to change, and you feel for some reason still very pulled to this connection. I'm being guided to this right now. Let me look at it. Why is it telling me to look at this? Yeah, you're trying to figure out, so what is stuck? Why do you feel stuck? What needs to be reversed? What do you need to consent to make this thing work? What do you have to do to change? And do you need to pay at full price or at full value for this commitment that would ultimately change and disrupt your life? Okay, you're looking at it from a larger perspective. You're trying to gain perspective, and you're undergoing this stripping away of inessentials so that the real you can emerge from this connection. It's pretty deep. You're going within. You're totally trying to figure out what needs to be stripped away from you, from your past, in your current environment. What needs to be reversed. And if you can change things, how do things change? How will these things change if you were to do something about it? But see, the first card that came out was this Ace of Swords. You want to get yourself unstuck. It's something to do with the message. It's something to do with something that was said, either relayed to you, communicated back to you, or perhaps lost in communication. Perhaps this is something you said to them when there was still a strong connection. You're looking back perhaps over your text, over the things they've said. Some of you guys are doing this unconsciously. Subconsciously, it is still on your mind. But how you feel towards this connection, you feel somewhat distant. You can keep a sense of individuality from this person. You gain quite a bit of yourself. You learn to love yourself. Put yourself first above all. 9 of Pentacles. So for you right now, this is like telling me you were possibly hung up on illusions or suspicions of this person. And it felt like it was starting to weave a web in a which way you couldn't get yourself unstuck. You were getting entangled in their life, trying to figure out how you were going to fit into theirs. I think right now you have accepted defeat, accepted the situation for what it is, that you cannot change this person, that you cannot change the situation right now, and you're pausing to review your options and finding alternatives. Letting go of what coulda, shoulda, woulda, but just aligning yourself with what is and knowing that they played a huge role, a catalyst in your life and in your destiny. Some of you guys have encountered spiritual gifts through this connection. See, you're entering this deep state of processing, calm. Calm surrender is pretty much what I'm getting out of this card. You're letting the universe guide you to your next step, to the next thing you're supposed to do. You're taking it step by step. You feel defeated and you feel like you have to surrender. A calm surrender is what this is. Not fighting for anything, not fighting for attention, not fighting for a commitment, not fighting for anything. This is more like, I am throwing in the towel, I'm accepting what is. Because I received some kind of message or communication or an epiphany of something here. And you are still looking for clues. It's not saying that you're completely done and all the information you received, this is the end of it. No, because you are still looking for some kind of truth here. But you're not going to rely on this too much because you've already made your decision. In some way, shape, or form, you know there's a possibility for the future, but you are not... It's like almost a feeling like you guys know. There's a deep knowing, and not sure why you know there's a reconciliation or that you guys will come back together in the future, but you don't know why you strongly and strangely feel this way. So you're surrendering to it. Calm surrender. If it happens, it happens. You may have felt like you were the one that carried this relationship, and you don't really wish to anymore. With the Hangman here, what needs to be changed? What do you need to consent to right now? There's something that you know that's going on in your twin flame's life that you know it just has to be this way right now. For some of you guys, I don't know why that is, but there's just this like calm feeling, calm surrender saying, yeah, this makes practical sense why I am surrendering to this. Okay, that's awesome. And that energy is really, that's how you manifest things, when you give it up and you don't seek control, when you're not demanding X, Y, and Z for your attention, for anything. You're just kind of like, it is what it is. Okay, if it happens, it happens. If they want to communicate, they want to talk about something, we'll talk. But I'm not even that quite interested in talking about the past. I'm more wanting to move forward. Okay? I want to move forward. I know there are huge changes coming to this relationship, but I have to take it slowly, practical, moving slowly, just living. I have to sort out my life right now currently. There's a lot going on in my life, a lot for me to be happy and thankful and grateful for. And I'm happy where I am right now, and I'm happy where things are. This is the happiest card in the deck. Also represents the card Leo. You could also have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn in your chart. Cancer or Pisces. But I'm seeing this as you are waiting for this to come. You know when this thing comes, you're going to be ready for it. You're waiting for the most... You know that your patience will be rewarded, that your calm surrender will be rewarded for in the future. And you know the things you have to do now. You have to take things slowly, taking a practical stance at this, moving towards this connection slowly. And this is also improving your current circumstances, your financial circumstances, your home, your broken connections. Maybe the things that you've given up and you've lost for this connection. Things you've compromised. Whether this is the lack of self-love for yourself, and maybe, putting all your needs and all your priorities second. You know there's things that you have to do now, that you're putting yourself first and putting this connection second. But you still feel very pulled towards them. But like I'm seeing here, there is a calm surrender. Something about a message, something that was said, is making you want to surrender to it. But you still feel very deeply connected to this. very deeply connected to this relationship, but you don't know why that is, but you're just letting the universe take the wheel. You're focusing on yourself and your pentacles and your own individuality and your circumstances. This is being very independent. This is Nine of Pentacles is living comfortably, living lavishly, taking care of themselves, taking care of their health, being a provider to themselves and others. A lot of earth energy in this and how you feel towards this connection. So how your partner feels towards you, it's very interesting because we have the same card, Ace of Swords. In this deck, it's called Ace of Airships, but this is clarity. This is looking for that truth and clarity, giving it up to spirit, giving it up to the universe for divine timing, for things to take place. Now, a lot more cards came out in their reading, but your masculine here, the divine masculine energy here recognizes this connection. We have the Emperor and the Empress. They could have Taurus, Libra, or Aries strong in their chart. They also have the Lovers. They recognize this thing, but they're processing this connection and why this one seems to bother them emotionally. Why they have experienced many relationships and connections before in the past, but why this one sticks out to them the most. Whether or not they rejected this connection, there's a level of guilt and sadness here. Sadness, sorrow, grief, despair, regret. I feel that they are somewhat isolated. They've retreated within themselves. They may have taken a step back and not so much interested in going out with friends anymore. Or perhaps if they do, it doesn't seem like the things that used to interest them really interest them at all anymore, because your connection has touched them so deeply and gravely that they needed to do some inner healing as well. Seven of Cups. They felt very certain that they could not be with you. At the same time, they saw you as their perfect match. The Empress with the Lovers. They saw you as this new beginning. You've awakened them in some sort of way. You've made them look at life from a different perspective. It was interesting because you have the Page of Pentacles right here, something about a message that you communicated with them. Perhaps this is why there is a surrender, a calm surrender. You may have sent them a message that was not returned, or perhaps was ignored, or perhaps they said something and communicated back to you something you felt like you had to surrender. There was just no point in pursuing and or dragging it on anymore. And it's interesting here, they also have the Page of Pentacles, a message. This message could be that they finally want to initiate a response or a reply and or communicate with you. Whatever it is, they're looking at this message with confusion. How to say what it is they want to say, because when they try to put their feelings in or thoughts into words, it doesn't really quite make any sense. It kind of goes back against, and it goes against everything they've ever said and perhaps ever told you. They also have the card of Hierophant here, and the Gemini card, the Lovers. And the Fool, a lot of major arcanas on your person's side, which means they have 4 major arcanas: the Hierophant, the Empress, the Fool, and the Lovers. This person, since I feel like this is a disconnection, since your disconnect, they have become a total different person. This is like something's changed them spiritually. They've gotten more spiritual. I wouldn't say that they are, tarot reader or a Reiki-ist or a monk or a nun. But I'm saying here they practice some sort of meditation now. Okay, it's kind of weird I'm getting this. I'm feeling here, they've retreated. Something in them changed. Like, they see something here. You see how that guy is like looking at this flower? And how he wasn't looking to make a flower. He was working on his skill set, looking at things from a practical sense. You see those clocks, you see those tools, you see his desk filled with metals and machinery, or whatever it is. But here he's looking at a rose. Like something came out of this that he least expected. Something unordinary from this connection. His feelings, his thoughts, his spirituality has changed. He figured out that it was perhaps this connection that is... He feels a pull towards you. He definitely feels like you are 1 in a million, and that this experience with you will never be repeated again with anybody else. He knows that. He knows he is still very physically attracted to you. He still thinks about this connection quite a bit. But when it comes down to it, he sees this as a puzzle. He sees this as, how does your life, how does this connection, how would it all fit in his life? Where do you fit? Where do you come in? His whole life would ultimately change. So his decision right now is he willing to give up whatever he started, whatever he wanted to do before he met you or during when he met you, for something else. He is sticking to his guns, sticking to his plan, his original plan, King of Swords. He's choosing to ignore and block out his emotions and his feelings for you. He's choosing to walk away and deny his feelings right now because it will get the better of him. And he's not ready for that right now. Your divine masculine at this time is thinking about this connection, but when he thinks about this connection, he's only finding himself getting more and more confused. That is 7 of Cups. He feels like he's drowning in illusion, drowning in his own feelings that he can't even seem to understand why it's bothering him, why he's seeing you in his dreams. 7 of Cups is also dreams. But I'm seeing here with this card, it clearly states he's thinking about you quite a bit. When he goes back, and when he goes back, jogs back to memory lane, he does think quite a bit, and it's sadness. Okay, it's that he didn't want it to end the way it did. He was not expecting for this to be like this. hurt was sustained on both sides. There is a calm surrender here, and they may have initiated, they may have prompted you, they may have angered you, they may have made you feel very weak and had no choice but to leave them. That was their goal, that was their plan. They actually, in fact, was hoping you would leave them first before they would be left, because they didn't see how this was going to go into how it was going to work out. But doing so, they were doing with a false mask. They didn't tell you how much you meant to them. They didn't show and or wanted to express their feelings, but I can tell from this reading their emotions with all these major arcanas coming out with the Lovers, and the Hierophant, a spiritual card. They have found enlightenment through this connection, and they couldn't voice it to you how much you meant to them. Because in their world and in their state of mind, it would have just sound crazy. It wouldn't have made sense if anybody was to know. You were not their usual type. You were not their usual connection, the person they normally go for. Perhaps they have been single for a very long time and they've only planned on staying single and never really getting into a serious commitment until later on in their life. And if they were to get married, it was probably for business, okay, rather than for love. They do admire a certain relationship in their family. I really feel with the Hierophant and the Lovers here, it could be they really admire a connection that they have in their family. This is maybe their parents. They see how much they are in love with each other, and they feel like their connection is only to be, they want a relationship like that. They want to work towards a connection like that, and they don't feel like where they are right now, they are up to it, that they're anyway. They feel there's somewhat a competition between a connection they've seen and real love they felt. They feel like right now they don't deserve that kind of love because they're not ready to give that love out. Perhaps their family or their parents have been in a very loving and doting relationship for many years, and they see how their father or their mother love each other so much that they don't feel like they are ready, and they want to give you the world, but they feel like they would fall short of that, and if they were to fall short of that, they would somewhat be a failure. They would fail in their eyes of in the eyes of their parents, or in the eyes of their friends, or in the eyes of a family member. There is a spiritual tie and connection. They felt real love, and they've seen it. They've seen it deeply, and they aspire to have that in their life. But right now, they were not anticipating or expecting it was going to be you, actually. But they weren't ready. This could have been for financial differences or financial circumstances. We do have 5 of Cups here twice. Okay, so they feel like you are the one that got away. And they did this. I'm almost feeling they did that intentionally. They may have been the one who let you go. Perhaps the one who walked away from you. Perhaps the one who said, I don't feel the same way. Okay? In whatever case, they had to say something to make you leave, to make you give up, to make you not want to be with them. But they did it with a lot of despair and with a heavy heart. Hurting you was the last thing they wanted to do, but they felt like they had to do it. And in hurting you, ended up hurting them. They didn't want to do it, but they felt for some reason really called and really guided to do it, because if they couldn't love you the way they knew you deserved to be loved. They found that you are ultimately 1 in a million, okay? That's what I'm seeing here. I really feel like there could have been financial and or financial circumstances or financial burdens on either you or your twin flame. There was financial differences. One was possibly from a very well-off family or very well taken care of, and probably doesn't have, they don't have to worry about anything. It's already, and they have some sort of money. Okay, we see Empress and the Emperor. But they also, for some of you guys, they felt as if this person did come from money, okay, they were wondering if you were possibly in it for money. Because a lot of people in the past, the people they've dated before, may have been very expensive, may have taken advantage of them, may have taken advantage of their family, and they didn't want that. They got to know you, but something got out of hand. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from this reading at this time. This was a little bit heavy, a lot of energies came out, but see, you're willing to move forward. Walk away from this connection at this time because you see how unstable or perhaps unready they are towards this connection. So here we have, like I said, I wanted to take a look at what's connecting both of you guys spiritually, okay? We were talking about practicality, and their current and yours and their current emotions. Now this is the spiritual component that exists between this connection at this time, and it's no wonder, it's no surprise this is a Two of Cups. Two of Cups is divine counterparts. This connection transcends physical. The physical, it's more than just emotional, it's more than just chemistry, it's a spiritual connection. This was a divine meeting, divine counterpart. When you met this person, you felt like it was fated. When you met this person, you were ready to marry this person, the world. You were ready to give up, change everything about your life, give up everything that you just felt like, where has this person been in your whole life? You felt like this was the one. You immediately knew this was your person, the world. Nobody else. You were done with searching. Okay? You knew that this was your person. You were ready to settle down. If you already had kids, you just felt like it was right. You would have moved, you would have traveled, you would have given up your work, you would have moved your whole entire family to be closer or to be with this person. So to you at this time of the meeting, okay, you were definitely not in it for the money, right? Not in it for convenience, not in it for whatever, but it was a plus. I do see here somebody probably did come from money, or somebody here was really focused on money, but was willing to put money and or finances in the back seat. There was a lot of money influence here. Somebody here, they may have felt like there's a lot of competition. You may have had children in a previous relationship, and you were willing to co-parent and collide the two families together. You were ready to meet their parents. You wanted to know them. This is like tradition, right? Spiritually, you guys have known each other before. In the past life, we will look at that because I'm really getting here, past life, you guys were married. In a past life relationship, you guys have known each other before. And you may have been married to this person. This person was very likely your spouse, and you very likely may have had a child with them. Or they were in your family in some sort of way. There was this familiar connection when the two of you came together, and that's why you knew right then and there. Okay, you may have known this person for a very long time. Twin flames usually come into our lives. Twin flames have always been a part of our lives. They've always been in close proximity to us. They may have gone to the same school as us. When we were in elementary, middle school, high school, college, they were somewhat always around us. That's how Spirit orchestrated this. And then at a certain time, they said, yes, it's time for these two people to finally meet. You may have been involved in a very serious relationship before meeting them, or when it became, more intimate. You guys may have just always been friends, or maybe you knew a certain friend and or family member of theirs. There was a very close connection. Somehow there was a link, okay? A very common player in this. Here on their side, they knew this connection. They felt as if they had awakened spiritually, that they had found the one, that they were a very spiritual being, and for some reason they were always pulled and guided towards you, or there's something very interesting about you, but they didn't know what it was. After meeting you, I believe they have encountered a lot of spiritual phenomenons. They have encountered many spiritual synchronicities. Started seeing 1111, started seeing and noticing reminders of you everywhere. That they possibly were not a firm believer in spirituality, and that they had possibly family members and our friends who were into it, but they had a sense of curiosity. They have been open to it. Okay, Spirit has been trying to get this person's attention for many years, but they dabbled in it. They've seen it. They may have even gone on a solitude journey and or travels before to find themselves in some spiritual way. But with you, they felt like your spirit's locked. Okay, this is a very huge card to come out on the spiritual side, but their ego resisted it. Their ego was telling them no, and I feel like they have given it a chance, but for some reason it happened in a very bad or wrong timing. Whatever it was, something happened where they said they had to walk away from this, and that they were not ready for this craziness that ultimately happened, where the Nine of Wands, this is the wounded warrior. They did something here. Over and over, repeatedly, they have gotten themselves hurt. I do see here they were unselfish in a way, where to get to the wounded healer here, the wounded warrior, they were constantly putting others first before themselves. They wouldn't speak up when things got too heavy. They would just continue to do so and keep their mouths shut to hold the peace. But you taught them a spiritual message and spiritual lesson as well. They felt like they learned quite a bit from this connection, good and bad. But overall, I mean, there's the Two of Cups. You guys are the perfect yin and yang. Now, I did say I was going to go and look at your past life, okay? Because I do feel past life connection here. You guys have definitely shared a past life before coming into this life. That's why they felt so familiar, because this was divinely orchestrated. At a certain time, you were probably in a very long-standing, intense relationship. You could have been possibly married, could possibly have kids. You probably, had a whole life ahead of you when you met this person. But for whatever reason, something didn't work out in your present circumstances, whether that was because there was a lot of abuse, there was something that was toxic, there was, sex, drugs, alcohol, codependency, or cheating. Whatever the case is, you left a situation behind to start, and then that was when you met this person, is kind of what I'm getting. So one of you, see, I'm getting a voyager, a traveler, or someone who has been on a spiritual journey, someone who is going to be actually traveling very soon. But in the past, in your past life, something about ships, I don't know what it is, but I kept seeing this card today. I don't know if some of you guys will resonate with that. Yeah, okay. What I'm getting out of this, you guys, your past life was a bit traumatic. There was a lot of trauma in you and their past life. That's why in this life it's very difficult for you guys to be together. You guys shared a lot of trauma in the past. You guys, I think what I'm getting here, I'm getting goosebumps. You guys may have actually lost a baby. Okay? There was a lot of trauma that existed between the two of you. Something within the home, I think that's why I was picking up something in their energy, okay? Something within the home or in their family. There was a lot of trauma in your past life with them. A lot of sadness. Family got ripped apart, but you two really wanted to stay together. They vowed to, in their past life, vowed to never let something ever happen. I feel like this had really, how do you say this? They've experienced something very traumatic and they vowed to never ever experience that ever again. So it imprinted on their soul. When they met you, they felt that again. This extreme love, extreme passion and desire, but also this intensity to stay away. Not sure, they don't know why it is to stay away, because they feel like it's like giving them a memory, okay? They're getting memories, but they don't really know what it is. They vowed to never experience whatever that was experienced, and I really strongly feel there was a separation or intense loss that you two suffered. I feel like one of you died very early, and they experienced that loss traumatically. They mourned for you traumatically. Okay, but you have always stayed in the part of their life, and you said that you were always going to watch out for them, and you always did. And they always saw signs and synchronicities of that. They saw your signs. You guys shared a baby. You guys may have lost it. In this life, maybe one or both of you have experienced miscarriages, and probably that's also like a karmic cycle repeating again. If you have lost a kid or miscarried before, well, that's very true. Then this reading is your energy. Spirit's trying to tell me that one of you guys had a kid together. It goes back all the way to biblical and the pilgrims and knighthood. You guys shared many past lives together. Almost 3. I'm getting 3 past lives together. And this time it's very, very intense. Okay? And I really feel like Spirit may be trying to bring you guys together in this lifetime to actually come together. But because of all the painful memories and experiences you guys have experienced before in the past, one or both of you guys are extremely traumatized. And that's why they choose to run from this connection. They have a lot of karma to sort out, and they have to figure out why it's bothering them, why this commitment feels. They're so magnetically pulled towards you, yet they have to run and hide and feel like they're not ready. Remember how I was saying how this is like they have to get, they felt love before, but they feel like they're not capable of showing that kind of love that they felt either from a family member or that they've seen from their parents, right? I was getting this like family dynamic on their energy. They have to figure out that they are ready and that they are lovable and that they deserve to be loved, and that money, social stand, where they stand economically or socially does not place a value and or importance, because they do care about their rankings. Okay, this is a karmic thing for them. They care a lot about ranks. That's all they knew in their past life. It's just to be the protector and to rise up and get higher and higher. I wouldn't be surprised if in this lifetime they became a soldier or have actually enlisted somewhere. Okay, and if they did, it would make a lot of sense. Or their parents, probably somebody in their family has. They've seen it. They've been in that situation where a family member or them was absent because of some sort of ranking, okay? Some kind of devotion or dedication to military. Okay, so a message from their higher self to you. From their heart. What do they want you to know at this time? And your messages to them. And this is Spirit's message for the both of you. What do you guys need to know? What is it that you guys need to work on right now? Okay, so this Spirit wants you guys to know this is a sexual union. Honor the place in one another where you are an eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. Close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. This is what Spirit wants you guys to work on. See, there is this one person here, or both of you guys feel inadequate. Feel that you guys don't deserve the other. That you guys both deserve better. But you guys, it's funny because you guys share the same soul. In a way, in a sense, okay? So their messages to you. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. See, they're awakening here. They're looking at things from a very synchronistic spiritual sense. Your message to them, a new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. See, you know that you guys are going to come together when the timing is right. Hope you guys enjoy this reading. I know it's a bit lengthy, but I wanted to get these messages out for you guys and hope you guys enjoy this. I'll see you guys there. Bye, guys.